What is up, YouTube? It's Mr. Game 75 here. Today we're playing Sakura Succubus 5. This is part 2. Now, let's get started. Alright. They sound very excited about it. Not that I really get it. Cosmo wriggles her nose. I don't see what's so appealing about slime. It's sticky and it smells bad. That's what people want, though, so I will do my best to make them happy. I'll miss Hiroki when he's gone, but it isn't the end of the world. We'll see him again, you don't worry. It's not like he's gonna be dead. Everything will just be fine. Even if you feel down, I'll be here to console you. No matter what happens, we'll always have each other. Ayu doesn't wait for Cosmos, her face flushed. Well, whatever. I guess you're right. There's no point in getting worked up about this. I'm the amazing, incredible, extremely beautiful IQ Ayu. There's no way Hiroki will get tired of me, no matter what vile tricks Marina and Hifumi and Hazel employ. I'll still come out on top of his heart. I'm not number one in the charts for nothing. Huh? But Ayu. Cosmo brow wrinkles. I thought your latest song was number 2 in the charts. Mihama Shizuru is actually even more pop you. Not. Oh, now she got someone else competing. Okay. Ayu grabs a hold of Cosmo's head. Another. She squeezes her skull. Word. Oh dear. Marina sighs. The children are fighting again. I do wish they would be more mature. Are you too old to bicker like that? Oh, you know a lot about being old, wouldn't you, Marina? You might call yourself a suffocated lady, but that's just a nice way of saying you're past of it. Past it? Why? I never. Oh shit! It's time. And as for you, Cosmos, I don't want you mentioning Shizuru around me. She's as good as a dead to me. Sure, her latest singles might have sold a little more than mine, but that doesn't mean anything. She has an unfair advantage. She debuted 15 years ago and then fell off the face of the planet. Oh god. How could I have known she'd release a brand new single after all this time, a day before my newest release? Of course all her old fans ate it up, old being the operative world. Shizuru's in her mid-30s, now she's even older than Marina. Oh god. She has no business being an idol. She ought to be ashamed of herself. I am not old, how dare you? Now it's just, something might happen afterwards. Tensions here. Hazel observes the carnage and impartial observer for once and laughs. Elbowing me in the ribs, she then says in a conspiratorial tone, "There's not a dull moment when you're surrounded by a harem of lovely succubi." Huh? Oh yes, it's all fun and games. Ayu! Until Marina scalps Ayu, while Ayu chokes Cosmos, I suppose. I sigh. At least Ayu won't be accompanying me on my upcoming trip to Astoria. That's something to be grateful for. I do like her indigenous can be kind of adorable when it's not so incendiary, but her temper is as volatile as a volcano. Spending too much time with her can be exhausting. In Astoria, however, I should be able to kick back and relax. I can hardly wait. First, however, it'd be nice if I could have a talk with Hifumi to confirm the particulars of our upcoming trip. Yeah, she's being suffocated. Oh my god. Maybe after I've torn Ayu away from the Cosmos, our resident cat girl is starting to look alarming blue in the face, and I'm not just talking about her. Bro, Ayu, you better stop. You're just killing her. Would it kill Ayu to chill out everyone once in a while? Oh no, she's done for. If it doesn't, I'm afraid it'll seriously kill Cosmos. Oh boy. To my relief, it doesn't take me all that long before I'm able to talk to Hifumi like I was hoping. Hifumi winds up visiting me the following night at my small rundown apartment of her own volition. I wasn't expecting any guests, and Hifumi's sudden arrival comes as quite the surprise, though it is, of course, a pleasant one. Hifumi greets me elegantly, as per usual, and apologizes for stopping by unannounced, an apology I have waved aside as being unnecessary. I have offered to serve Hifumi some tea if my mother's taught me anything. If that's offering guests green tea is the only polite thing to do. But Hifumi reversed my offer on me. Instead asked me if she could prepare the tea for me. I am the only one imposing upon you, Hiroki dear, by visiting you at such advanced an hour. This being the case, it would be only fitting for me to prepare the tea. I do not wish for you to go to any extra trouble, not for my sake. Moreover, I enjoy dawdling upon you. I find it most satisfying. That was what Hifumi said. I was able to stop her, so instead I scalped over to the tatami in the kitchen cum living room. Kitchen cum? What the? Kitchen cum? Okay. I sat there for a while, cross-legged upon the floor, while Hifumi worked. Hifumi, being elegant and dexterous, wasted no motions preparing the tea. She had a lot of brewed in only a few minutes, and 2 cups poured cups, which she then carried to me on a tray with more grace and poise than any waitress. Here you go, dear. Hifumi now says, handing me a cup. Please drink up, but do be careful. It's hot. In fact, Hifumi smiles. Perhaps I ought to blow on your tea for you first. Ooh. Ooh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blow my tea. Okay. So you don't burn your tongue. I wouldn't want you to scald yourself. Oh, it's alright. You don't need to baby me, really. I know I don't need to, but I would like to. And in any event, I do not regard you as a baby. You are more akin to a husband to me, and any devoted wife would wish to ease their husband's burdens, and whatever small marriage they're able to. Would you not allow me this privilege, dear? Well, I glance away, abashed. Hifumi might dress and act in traditionally Japanese manner, but she's no shy wallflower. She can be quite assertive when she wants, to such a degree it's a little disconcerting. I wonder if that's because she's a succubus. Could be. If you really want me to, then I won't stop you. Go right ahead. Wonderful, you are too kind, dear. But then again, that is precisely the reason why I like you so. Pleased by this victory, minor though it might be, Hifumi's blow atop the surface of my green tea. She blows and blows with soft foo-foo sounds until she's satisfied. Whatever loving wife quota she's desperate to fulfill. This task thus carried out, Hifumi's hands the cup back to me. Now you may drink it. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure I will. You brewed it. After all, I offer Hifumi a smile which makes her laugh. My, you certainly know how to ensnare a woman's heart. I like you a good deal already, dear, but with every moment I spend in your company, I find myself growing more and more enamored. Hifumi and I sit for a few moments in silence, sipping at our tea. While I observe her, Hifumi's dark hair cascades about her slender shoulders like a waterfall, and her face is carefully made up. There's not a single wrinkle in Hifumi's attire, though it's compromised of many parts and looks tedious to put on. Her obi is tied to perfection, and her long sleeves are draped gracefully upon her lap. Hifumi is so enchanting, in fact, she looks quite out of place in cruddy apartment. I'm acutely aware of the stains in the tatami left by this place's previous residents, not by me, and the discoloration of the blinds. Yeah, those residents must be some dirty people. Ugh. Hifumi doesn't belong in a place like this. She's far too good for it. Either they give us something good or whatever. It's crazy, really, that the famous actress like Yamamoto Hifumi wants anything at all to do with me, much less to spend in my time less in a luxurious home. I've had several months to grow accustomed to Hifumi's affections, almost a year, in fact, but I'm still reeling. I swallow down my tea, then look at Hifumi askance. So, to what do I owe the pleasure? I suppose there's a reason why you came over so late, beyond wanting to brew me tea. Ah, yes, of course. I wanted to partake in viewing your face, which is so very dear to me. But then more than that, I owe you an apology. An apology? Yes, indeed. I said many things about you on television last night, things you might perhaps have preferred to keep private. I did not intend, before participating in the Karuta competition, to make my feeling towards you known. It was not my intention to boast of our relationship, truly, if it wasn't not. I would hate to put you on an awkward situation, dear. I would hate to make my sisters jealous, too. Ah, so that's what this is all about? I had wondered. I wondered, too. I guess that's one mysterious solve. It's a good thing Hifumi thought to bring this subject up of her own volition. That saves me the trouble. I want to talk to her about it, too. And about her intentions. It is just... Sai Hifumi dips her head and traces the tips of her index finger about the rim of her teacup. I care for you so much, I find it hard to suppress these feelings of mine. I saw a perfect opportunity to confess to the nation. I cannot help but seize it. I am not as young as I used to be. You see, certainly, I am not so young as Ayu or Cosmos, and now that I am in a relationship with a man I love, I wish to speak of it. I can no longer continue to keep affairs between us a secret, as though it is something I ought to be ashamed of. I am not ashamed of my feelings for you, not in the slightest, and I wish for the world to know of them. To know. Keeping quiet about you has been weighing so heavily upon my heart. I cannot take it. Oh, I see. I survey Hifumi from across the table, impressed at her candor. She's breathing pretty heavily, and her shoulders are shaking. It's an unusual sight coming from a woman as composed as Hifumi so often is. Her authenticity in her tone rings true, and it makes my heart flutter. She really must like me a lot for her feelings to override her common sense. I'm very flattered you feel that way. I reply after a pause, once I've had a moment to gather my errant thoughts. I love you a lot too, Hifumi. Do you truly? Of course. I smile at her. I thought it'd be better to keep our relationship a secret. It's true, but that's not because I'm ashamed of you. I thought it'd be easier to manage given your celebrity. I don't want our affairs being splashed all over the pages of magazines, especially not when said magazines would have a field day if they dug a little into my relationships and discern I'm also going out with Cosmos, Moretti, Ayu, Wakatsuki Marina, and Hazel Williams. But it's too late for regrets now. You've already talked about our relationship on TV. It's not possible to take back what you said, but I don't think I want you to. I'm happy to let people know about us. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, if you're on TV, just keep everything that you know just secret. Like, don't just blurt it out of nowhere. Though, now that I think about it, I'll have to break this news to my mother, too. Ooh, now that'll be fun. I wonder how I should even go about it. I've not had a serious partner in years and years. I've been too focused on my job, and now all of a sudden I have 6 of them, and one of them lives in the Succubus realm. For starters, I'll probably have to tell my mother what a succubi are. Will she even believe me? My situation is so bluntly unbelievable, I'm not sure how I fully accept it myself. Oh, Hiroki, thank you very much. Hifumi exhales relief, a gentle smile upon her lips. Does that mean that we are officially a couple then? I suppose so, yeah. And will you take me to meet your parents? I would so love to introduce myself to your mother and your father too. I want to make miso soup for them and help your mother go grocery shopping and give your father back rubs. Whoa, 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 not my father back rubs. Well, it is my most ardent wish that they know how dutifully a daughter-in-law I shall be. Yeah, about my folks. I smile awkwardly. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let me speak to them first, okay? But of course, I shall leave it in your capable hands, darling. Oh, I'm so excited I can hardly wait. Hifumi's excitement must be catching because when I look at her, my own smile begins to relax. I'm starting to feel pretty positive about this whole thing too, but there's something else I think we need to discuss. I'm glad you're excited, but we might have to put your visiting my parents on hold for a while. Have you been extended an invitation to Astoria by its prisoners no less? Oh yes, you're quite correct. I was taken by the thought of introducing myself to your family. It had quite slipped in my mind. You forgot that a princess wants to put you up in her own palace. I raised an eyebrow. I think that I stick in most people's minds. Perhaps it would, but not most people. You are more important to me than any princess, dear. I'm glad to hear it, though the devotion evident in Hifumi's voice and face is kind of intense. But I hate for you to make an enemy of Stefania. I think you ought to accept her invitation. She's too important to risk of upsetting. Yes, indeed. I concur. I shall postpone my visits to your family's abode, then until after my trip to Astoria. Stefania was quite eager that I teach her how to play Karuta. I am not at all opposed to the idea. She is quite the dear thing. I do think it would be lonely, though, for me to travel to Astoria on my own. I wish not to be parted from you, darling. So, winsomely, Hifumi examines me from beneath her eyelashes. Would you care to accompany me? I would be more appreciative if you could. Stefania has already given you her blessing. I believe all should be well if we are able to secure the time away from work. I think that should be adorable enough. My boss has been pretty lenient with me lately, and knowing him, I'm sure he'll regard this as a wonderful business opportunity. Maybe I could take some photos of Stefania while I'm there. Maybe I could take some photos of you while I'm there. This is gonna be a tough one, huh? Actually, it doesn't even seem that tough to me because we already know, obviously, the bottom one. I'm sure the public would love to see a few candid snapshots of you playing Karuta, particularly against a person like Stefania. They'll eat it up for sure. You flatter me. Hifumi giggles while elegantly pressing one hand to her mouth. I think the general public would be rather more interested in seeing photographs of Stefania than they would me. She is more visually striking than I, given her lovely fair hair and her soulful eyes. Stefania's cute, sure, but I think you're even cuter. Hifumi, I'm not planning to introduce Stefania to my parents after all. Goodness me, you really do know how to charm a woman. Beaming, Hifumi presses on one hand upon her chest. I am looking forward to meeting your parents. It is true, but this upcoming trip into Astoria should prove to be just as enjoyable in its own right. Why does it feel almost as though we are going to a honeymoon? I'll have to choose my very best genre for that occasion, so as to not disappoint you. Granted, we are able to get some private time together. Now then, Hifumi surveys me from beneath half-lidded eyes as someone mischievous smile playing upon her lips. Perhaps we ought to celebrate good fortune. A celebration, huh? I returned Hifumi's smile with one of my own. And what would that entail exactly? Oh, I think you will understand what I'm getting at, dear. My true intention should be obvious enough. The night is still young. I think we ought to enjoy ourselves to the fullest while we have the opportunity. There is nothing I wish for more, after all, than your happiness, my beloved husband. A handful of days passed following my impromptu meetup with Hifumi, during which is confirmed that Marina and Hazel will be coming along with us for the trip. With the tickets for our flight all booked, I only need to pack my things for my upcoming trip. I was in the process of getting everything prepared when an errant thought makes me pause. It's been a while since I last spoke to my parents, and I really should update them as long as to them to going on in my life. I thought to my mother might call me after Hifumi declared she was dating an Ogasara Hiroki on TV, but apparently not. Maybe she didn't see the news. Said news has been exploded all across social media since then. I know because I've seen it. My mother's pretty old-fashioned. She hardly ever goes on the internet. All she knows about the world news she gleans either from TV or from newspapers. I want my mother to learn about my engagements as it's were secondhand, so I figured it'd be best to break the news myself. I did tell Hifumi, moreover, that one day I'll let her meet my parents. I can hardly do that if my parents don't even know that I'm dating her. Turning up on their doorstep unannounced for the famous actress and motor Hifumi in tow will be quite a flex, but I have no desire to give my father a heart attack. He's getting on in years, and he's pretty frail. After some consideration, I seize my packaging. It can wait for later and take a seat in the kitchen. I pull my phone out of my pants pocket and quickly dial my parents' landline. My mother picks up after only 3 rings, punctual as per usual. I think she must have been in the middle of washing up the dishes after dinner because I can hear the faint sound of running water in the background. Haruki dear. My mother greets me, her voice congenial. How are you? Has something happened? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Oh dear. I hear my mother shuffle about through the other end of the line, and then the sound of the water ceases. She must have shut the faucet off. Now her attention is no longer taken through the household chores. My mother now then settles herself down and says, "That doesn't sound promising. You've not gotten yourself into any trouble, have you? I hope you're not in a fix at your job." No, Mom. You don't need to worry about that. My job's going just fine. As fine as it can go, at least. I pen when my coworkers all despise me thanks to my newfound popularity. What is the issue then? Is it with your love life? It's been a long time since you last told me you met somebody. Yeah, that is what I want to talk to you about, exactly. I thought as much. We mothers can always tell these things. I've a sixth sense for it. What is the issue there? Are you lamenting your inability to land a nice woman? No, or a nice man? What the? What? What the hell? My mother prompts before I have the chance to reply. What a nice man? What? She thinks we're gay? What? What the hell? I did think it's strange, that you only had one girlfriend back in high school. Most young boys will play the field much more. I've always suspected, given your seeming lack of interest in the inferior sex, your taste might be elsewhere. If that is the case, I won't judge. We all have our own interests. I'd rather you be upfront with me about it, though instead of trying to hide it. You've nothing to be ashamed of. No matter what happens, you'll always be my son. What? No, Mom. Please. I sigh. I knew there was a reason why I didn't call my parents more often. This is precisely why. My mother's always jumping to conclusions like this. I know she means well, but her overbearing nature can be quite the pain. I'm not gay. If that's what you're implying, I have no interest in men whatsoever. Really? Are you sure about that, dear? I'm quite sure. Jeez, what the hell? How does our own mother think that we're gay? What? I lean back in my chair, then roll my eyes. Don't sound so disappointed, please. You're making me feel like I should apologize here. I'm sorry, dear. I only assumed. Wrongly. Yes. Well, now I can see I might have been mistaken. You have to forgive your mother for jumping to conclusions. I've already prepared my acceptance speech. You see, for what you did decide to come out. But now it looks like that won't happen. Not in your life. Now listen here. I want to call you because I have, contrary to your expectations, found myself in a relationship. Or, suddenly awkward, I scratched my cheek. A few relationships, in fact. A few? Though I can't see my mother's face, I can hear the incredulity in her voice. I bet her eyebrows half shot right up her forehead, tied beneath her hairline. Why, Hiroki, it doesn't seem like long ago you were complaining at your inability to land one pretty woman. Now, do you mean to tell me you're seeing several? Yeah, it's kind of crazy how things worked out, but that's about the size of it. And do these women know about this? Don't tell me you're two-timing them. No, it's a mutual arrangement. We've all agreed on it. I've been keeping this from you for a while now, but because I wasn't sure how to spread the news, but this has been going on for several months. I know this might sound crazy, but please hear me out. I held and say, I'm dating the famous actress Yamamoto Hifumi. Yamamoto Hifumi? What's more, I hear blank disbelief in my mother's tone. Not the young Hifumi, surely. The one your father is such a big fan of? Yes, that Yamamoto Hifumi. The Hifumi who played the part Blind Princess in Omnious Inheritance? That Hifumi? Yes, that Hifumi. I don't think there are many or any other actors working with that name right now. Well, I never So you're dating her? Yes, I am, and that's not all. I'm also dating the famous businesswoman Wakatsuki Marina, the Rapid Pound model, Cosmos Moretti, the popular idol Akio Ayu, and the tennis star Hazel Williams. I've also dated the queen of the succubus realm, Yui. Oh, I haven't heard of her in a long time. But don't mention this to my mother. I think that really will be too much to take in. I don't want to overwhelm my mother with info right now. I've hit her with so many bombshells in the last minute, I worry she might have been able to endure it. The seconds trickle by, during which neither of us speak. I think I must have stunned my mother into silence. Is she busy trying to process everything I told her? If so, I wouldn't be surprised. She'd probably use a bit of time. A few more seconds pass, and then... Hiroki? Yes, Mom? I'm a little afraid as to how she might reply, but as it transpires... I'm sorry I fell inside it, but I had to go and check the calendar. You made me wonder whether I mix up the dates, and it wasn't April Fool's Day already. What? Wait, Mom, this isn't a joke. Ha! My mother gulps from the other end of the line. I thought you might say that your sense of humor is so deadpan. I find it hard to tell when you're being serious. But this... I bet my mother, shaking her head though, of course, I can't see her. My mother's too old-fashioned to understand the appeal of video calls, and she doesn't have the phone model enough to support them either. I think she's afraid if she uses a phone camera, it might steal her soul. Why? This is one of the tallest tales you've ever told me. There's no way it can be true. I've not heard of Akio or this Cosmos girl before, but I've read about Marina Hazel in the papers. They're both very talented and very pretty. I mean, no offense, dear, but I can't fathom why women such as these would take an interest in you. This must be a joke, simply unfeasible. Why? The very idea. My mother chuckles. It's more than it can take. My sides are going to split. You naughty boy, Hiroki. You're going to send me into convulsions. Whoa, convulsions. I was almost prepared to believe you when you mentioned Hifumi, but this? You can take a joke too far. I gritted my teeth together, my fingers curling tight about my cell phone. I thought this might happen, but my mother's bland disbelief still stings. Please, Mom, listen to me. I'm not kidding around. Don't write this off as a prank. I'm trying to tell you something important. If things keep going as they are, then... I had treated my mother through the cell phone, but I'm soon stopped short by a dull thud, which echoes out in the hallway. Was that the front door? Is somebody here? But who? I'm not pondering, but what source of this ominous thud could be for all 2 seconds before? Hey, Hiroki. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Akio Ayu storms into my not native living room. In all her glory, clad in some cute sweater. She was at Marina's, which, given that keyhole cutout, can't do all that much to keep the wintry air at bay. She snaps one finger in my direction as she prone to doing, then cries. I can't believe you. What were you going to tell me you finally finalized that trip to Astoria, huh? Were you planning to jet off on your own with Hifumi and then the others in tow without telling me first? Don't you care about my feelings? Oh, uh-oh. She's angry. You're the worst. Hey, Hiroki, it's good to see you. Hazel slinks into my living room. Behind, Aya, bashfully smiling on her face. She's wearing the same cheerleader garb she wore back at Marita's place for whatever reason, her lilia cat's tail poking out from beneath the short hem of her skirt. She looks pretty cute, I guess, though I do wonder whether she wore that on the way here. Isn't she cold? It's only about 6 degrees out there, and it's pretty windy. Maybe Succubus don't feel the cold. There's a lot about them I still don't understand. I want to see you before your trip, so I decided we'd come over. It looks like you're busy, though. Cosmo's eye flickered to my cell phone, which is still clutching in my hand. I don't want to bother you when you're on your phone. Should I sit here and wait until you're finished? No, it's fine. I'm glad to see you, Cosmos. Though I wish she learned to knock on the door first. This is the first time she broke it in unannounced using her succubus magic. With powers like those, Cosmos would make a pretty good phantom thief. She's already stolen my heart. And me? Ayu glores at me, her hands planted on her hips. Aren't you glad to see me too, Hiroki? Oh yeah, I guess I'm glad about that. Despite my better judgment, a little voice appends inside my head. Well, of course you are. I'm Ayu, after all, Japan's #1 idol. Who wouldn't be overjoyed at a visit from yours truly? But Ayu, I thought Mihama Shizuru was more pop. Shut up! Ayu directs a glower at Cosmos, even colder than liquid nitrogen, so which Cosmos squeaks alarm. Cosmos looks terrified, quelly as she'd been in beneath Ayu's glaze, but at least she's all in one piece. Maybe I should thank you, my lucky star. Ayu didn't try to choke her this time. Hiroki? My mother's still on the phone. I forgot about that. And the cacophony of Ayu and Cosmo's unexpected arrivals. What's happened, Hiroki dear? I can hear a lot of noise in the background. Do you have a guest over? Oh, sorry about that, Mom. A couple of my friends stopped by, but it was pretty unexpected. I think I might have to hang up now. Mom? Cosmo's ears pricked up at this. Oh, God. I'm not the fake cat ears attached to her head. They aren't real, and she can't hear through them. At least I don't think she can. Are you talking to your mother, Hiroki? That's right. I was just telling her about your mother? Ayu's eyes flash, then quicker than lightning, she stalks forward. Give me that. No, whoa, what are you trying to do? Hey, I cry in protest, but I soon cuts me short. She wrenches myself from my hand with no small forces that steps back. Holding my phone to her ear, she then says in tones so sugary sweet to my teeth, it starts to hurt. Well, hello, Miss Astoria. It is very nice to meet you. I can't hear my mother's anymore, but I've no doubt she'll be sounding as confused as a headless chicken right now. And for good reason. Who's this crazy girl you addressed me so suddenly in so familiar in manner? It's what I'm sure she'll be thinking. Jeez, what a pain. Hey, Ayu, give it back. I crossed the room meaning to take my phone back from Ayu, but she's too quick for me. She darts away, ducking her arm under and continues her dress as though nothing at all is amiss. I know we haven't been normally introduced, but I am very much looking forward to meeting you in person one of these days. My name is Aki Ayu. Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm Japan's #1 idol, and I'm beloved across the world. You're Japan's number 2 idol now. Cosmo murmurs, but she speaks softly this time, so Ayu doesn't catch on. Ayu's so busy talking to my mother in any event, she doesn't seem to be paying Cosmos any attention. This might be the news to you, but your son and I have quite the intimidating relationship. He is my loyal cameraman, and he is taking my photos of me in the past for the newspaper, and he is indentured too. I feel sorry for your poor son. See him work so hard for so meager pittance, so I extended the olive branch of friendship onto him, which is not something I easily mind you as Japan's #1 idol, #2 idol. I am a very busy woman. I don't have the time to care for all the down and to mouth plebeians which populate this country. Hey Ayu, knock it off! Your son won me over. However, this is determination and his focus, and later his kindness. I have grown rather fond of him. Over the last few months, I have good reason to believe he shares my feelings. Hifumi might believe she has this in the bag. Now she confessed to Hiroki on live TV, but don't go counting me out this race just yet. Are you? What the hell? I have plans to get Hiroki down this aisle before she can. Then Paris will be married, and you shall be my future mother-in-law. I look forward to seeing you at our wedding, which will definitely be happening. I'm in the process of picking out a white dress as we speak. Oh, me too, me too. I'd like to marry Hiroki one day. I already own a lot of wedding dresses, but, well, they aren't normal dresses. They show off a lot of skin. I guess they're more like legionnaire, some sort of other than have veils, though, and garters. Oh no. she's blurred out the whole thing. I wondered if getting married in an outfit like that would be a bad. They are very traditional. Maybe I should get something less revealing. But that wouldn't be as sexy. I want to look my best on my wedding day, and my fans say that my thighs are the best feature as long dress would hide them. What should I do? Like it matters. You won't be one to marry Hiroki. I will. Can we both marry him? We both love him after all. I wouldn't go quite far. I just appreciate him is all, and I don't want the rest of you taking him away from me. I'm going to win this competition in any case, so you best back off. Polygamy isn't even legal in Japan. Cosmos, you dummy. It isn't? Of course it isn't. What bizarre land do you live in? It certainly isn't Earth. Hiroki can date all of us, but he can't marry all of us. He'll need to choose, and naturally he'll choose me. That's not up for debate. Now goodbye, Miss Orosawa. When we meet, I hope it will be under better circumstances. As your daughter-in-law, I promise I'll do you proud. So saying Ali disconnects the call, then tosses the cell phone back to me. Here you go, I'm done now. Are you now? That's funny. I feel pretty done right about now too. Done with what? I don't know, life maybe? Why is everything gotta be so complicated? Groaning at my cell phone. I only cut the call with my mother a little while ago. I wish she asked me before doing that, but my mother already sent me a message. This is much from obviously typing in a hurry. I was attached to as much state supply. Hiroki, what is going on? It is a fair question, I guess, but it's not one I have immediate answers for. Well, I did try to tell you. Sigh, I turned my phone off. Now that's not time to explain everything to my mother. Then slide it into my pocket. I'll have to contact her about all the insanity later and try to get this sorted out. For the present, however, I've a bone need to pick with Ayu. I wish you hadn't said all that stuff to my mother. This is going to lead to a very awkward conversation. And why shouldn't I talk to her, huh? Does she have a right to know about our relationship? We've been dating for almost a year. Don't tell me you want to keep me a secret. Ayu takes a step back, her expression is contorting. Any normal guy would be happy to be dating a guy like me, you jerk. You've no right to be ashamed of me. You're punching ways above your weight as it is. Why aren't you allowed to make these things official? Ayu, please. I tried to adopt my best Sunni tones to contrast Ayu's shrilly ones. Getting mad at her won't do anything to help the situation, and I can understand where Ayu's coming from. I pretty feel rotten, and my partner was trying to keep my existence hush-hush too. It's not the best feeling in the world. I'm not upset that you contacted my mother. I'm upset that you contacted her like you did without asking me if it was alright beforehand. I was actually trying to tell her about you, Cosmos, Marina, and the others before you interrupted. Huh? Ayu's eyes widened at this. She pressed a hand to her chest as an overwrought maiden might, and blushed says, You were. Yeah, I figure I've kept things a secret for long enough. I know my dating situation is pretty complicated, but which is why I didn't tell her about it. But I figure I owe it to you and all the others to be upfront. I'm not ashamed of you. In fact, it's the exact opposite. I'm proud to be dating so many attractive, incredible women. I wanted to introduce all of you to my parents, not to hide you away, but well, I smile really. It's complicated. Did your mother take it badly, Hiroki? I wouldn't say that exactly. It's more like she didn't believe me at all. She thought you were joking. I nod. I was doing my best to convince her before he barged in on you. How rude. Ayu harumps. I don't barge. I'm too polite for such rough conduct. Such a word would be better used to describe Hazel. Alright, then unexpectedly interrupt. Does that sound better? Not really. Huh? Ayu pouts. I just wanted to show you how much I like you, Hiroki. I was upset that Hifumi's got the better of me, so I thought I'd at least seize the opportunity to announce my intentions to your mother. I'm serious about marrying you one of these days. This is more than just a competition. I want us to be a real couple, but did I make things difficult for you? Maybe, just a bit. But I suppose it's fine. My mother has to believe my claims now, at the very least. I would have liked to ease her into it and give her more time to accept the situation, but I guess it's too late for to fuss. She would have found out sooner or later anyway. I smile at Ayu, who now looks uncommonly abashed. I pat the top of her head. There, don't worry, I'm not angry. You're not? Nah, it's nice knowing you're this serious about me. Just try to keep that temper of yours in check, okay? I don't like having to scold you. I'm not a sadist, not like Marina. Her. Ayu pulls a face. Can't stand having to share you with that woman. She might act classy, but deep down she's utterly brute. There's no softness in her heart whatsoever. She's even wicked than Hifumi. She does have a cute side, though. Don't you remember how scared she looked when we were telling the ghost stories at your beach house? The way she clung to Hiroki was pretty cute. Sure, maybe she was a bit appealing then, but that's only one time out of 100. No, 1,000. Most of the time, she's unbearable. Well, let's just agree to disagree, so I look between my unexpected guests, some of this temper already drained. I think I've already got the gist of it, but I'll ask just to be certain, what are you two doing here? It's like I said, I want to stop by and see you before you go to Astoria. I'll miss you quite a lot, actually. I'm sad I can't come along with you, but I thought, shyly Ayu toys with one of her pigtails. I know you don't leave until the weekend, but I have a pretty packed schedule. I don't think I'll have a chance to see you off on the day, so thought I'd come here now. I want to say goodbye to you, and I want to give you something to remember me by. You're worried I'll forget you. Yeah, so many beautiful women hanging you off. I wouldn't be surprised. I know I'm the cutest of the bunch. You have a pretty poor attention span. That's why I want you to listen up. I used to have to finger in my direction. Give me your heart always, or I'll cheer you out. Have you got that? I've got it, and don't worry, I can never forget you, Ayu. You promise? Sure, dude. I'll cross my heart too, if it'll make you feel better. It's not like I could forget Ayu, even if I wanted to. She's so loud and shrill, she makes quite the impression. Alright everyone, that is the end of today's video today, so hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.